the Seireitei, a Bleach fandom community podcast brought to you by Kenpachi's Manicure and Cuticle Salon, where we do our best to make sure your fingers look great and feel great, but we're happy to chop them off for you if the treatment isn't working. My name is Lethan, and today I'm joined by Nomi.
Hello. That wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be.
No, wait for the one I've got later.
Okay.
It's fine. I think that was okay. It was alright. Yeah. How are you doing, Nomi? What colour's your vibe?
Green, because I've been doing my garden.
Oh,
so.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I'm going to go with like a woody oak kind of brown, I think.
Oh, okay.
For today. Because it's really murky outside and it's giving me like total almost summer vibes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have that heat yesterday?
We did, yes, and I tell you what, I'm feeling it today without the heat because now I'm so cold. But I don't want to turn the heating on because everything's expensive.
Oh, I know, yeah. No, sun's shining still, but it's really windy up here.
Oh, no, we've got the wind, we've got rain right now actually in grey clouds, so it's a bit rubbish, and I'm just getting like a draft coming in from under the kitchen door, so it's a bit crap. I need to get like a door blocker thing to just save money on, because nobody can afford to turn the heating on. I turned the heating on for like 40 minutes this morning and I felt guilty.
Oh no.
That's where we are in the world. Anyway.
Get one of those little fan things beside your bed, because I've got one of those. It does both cool air and then hot air. Yeah,
I could do it. It's more just I just need to block off the kitchen because the back door is a piece of shit, so it's in all the drafts. So I really need to I've got like a massive like inch under the kitchen door where just that draft comes in from, so I'm sure I'll be able to get something on Amazon for it. It's fine. Hey. It's not like I've had to fork out 300 odd quid for my car or anything this month.
No, not at all. Bless your cotton socks.
For anybody listening, me and Nomi met at Loch Tay with two other friends of ours on Tuesday. And on the way up, my car decided to get real fucking loud, and then on the way back down, I drove down with the exhaust in the boot.
Yeah, it wanted a holiday too, you know.
Oh, it just totally fell off. Anyway, yeah, so I drove back all the way back home like a bad boy fucking racer. Anyway, we got it fixed.
Oh, good.
We got it fixed. It was a very interesting call to the garage.
I bet it was.
It's like, what's wrong with your car? Well, the exhaust is in the boot, and the guy just burst out laughing. So I'm pretty sure that's what's wrong with it. Anyway, right, okay. I suppose we should talk about Bleach then.
Yeah, let's talk about Bleach, yeah.
Right, let's we jump in with the summaries then.
Yes, let's do that.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so starting us off then, we have episode 288, the final trump card, Ichigo towards the decisive battle. After finally being given a lengthy warning by Captain Creepy about taking the wrong step into Gargantua, Ichigo drops a bomb about how similar he is to Unohana before taking off, which was very good.
It was very good.
Anyway, yeah, Unohana follows closely behind Ichigo. Captain Kurosuchi is obviously very mortally offended by Ichigo's comment and decides he's going to make Ichigo a test subject, which is equally hilarious. Kenpachi and Yami are locked in a battle, and just when Yami thinks he has the upper hand, Kenpachi sees fit to mutilate it, chopping off several fingers. Byakuya and Kurosuchi have a wee chinwag about why Captain Creepy didn't go after Ichigo and Unohana when they went to the world of the living, and he states that there are better test subjects in Hueco. However, Byakuya believes there's more. He believes that by sending Ichigo to the world of the living, they will win. On their way to the human world, Captain Unohana gives Ichigo the lowdown on Aizen's Shikai, along with some excellent advice which might help him defeat Aizen. She then threatens him so that she can walk in front, which leads to a discussion about healing and the restoration of spiritual pressure. Offering to restore it for Ichigo, she then lets Ichigo take the lead again, noting that when he's fully recovered, he may be the trump card that they need to win. Back in Hueco, Byakuya and Kenpachi start having a domestic over who should finish Yami off. Honestly, these boys.
Which brings us into episode 289. Byakuya versus Kenpachi, the melee commences. Which, of course, brings us back to Kenpachi versus Byakuya, because let's face it, Yami is only getting in the way for this. I mean, it's flirting. Come on now. There is no other way to describe it. However, not to be hard done by, Yami grows exponentially. Honestly, this is just writing itself by now.
Oh my god, no mate.
This is the mood I'm in today. Honestly, this is just writing itself by now. Yami explains that his power comes from his anger. Mayuri warns the happy couple not to make him any more angry, for it would make the autopsy all that more difficult. Yami obviously doesn't know the meaning of foreplay, and finally acts, punching both Kenpachi and Byakuya. We don't see the end of the fight, unfortunately, as we switch back to the world of the living, joining Hisagi and Komamura in their fight against Tosen. After a few near misses, it looks like Hisagi takes the upper scythe and looks clean to slice Tosen in two, but the former captain escapes at the last minute, edging out of the way. I'll stop now.
No, you won't.
Moving along to Shinji, who is cradling Hiyori in the arms. The small, feisty warrior is half the woman she was before.
Oh my god, no way.
I need to pause now. Anyway, I can make fun of these guys, it's fine.
It's good, keep going.
I've died. Anyway, and is seriously injured. And Shinji is glaring at Aizen. After asking Hachi to take over looking after Hiyori until Ichigo's arrive, Shinji goes to face Aizen. We don't get much from them, unfortunately, as we head back to Hisagi, Komamura, and Tosen. A simple sentence from Tosen causes confusion when Komamura thinks he's going to go Bankai, when instead Tosen turns visored. What? Yep, Tosen has undergone the holification process and now has a hollow mask. Tosen slashes at Hisagi, who falls, and he faces Komamura next. But this isn't the end of Hisagi, who was taught, ironically, by Tosen himself to always be able to take a half-inch step back, protecting him from fatal blows. He pins Tosen down, but Tosen stabs him this time and returns to Komamura, who tells Tosen that he will open his eyes no matter what. I'm done now.
And that brings us, oh my god, that brings us to episode 290 for the sake of justice, the man who deserted a Shinigami. In this episode, the lovers' tiff between Tosen and Captain Komamura continues, and we finally get the reveal behind Tosen's cryptic justice messages. Turns out Tosen had a friend whom he cared deeply for, who left to become a Shinigami only to be murdered by her husband. No justice was delivered, and her husband was able to walk free. Tosen only joined the Shinigami to get stronger so he might be able to impose his own justice in the world. While this is happening, Aizen draws his sword on Shinji, and the Visored explains he never opened up to Aizen, never let him get close enough, thus Aizen still doesn't know his Bankai or its abilities. Smart man, Shinji, smart man. Tosen and Komamura continue to battle, with Tosen having instant regeneration abilities. This battle appears very one-sided, but it gets even more wild when Tosen releases not his Bankai, but his Resurrection? What the fuck? Oh dear god. Now appearing like some giant animated fly from some horrific nightmare, this also grants him the ability to see, which he immediately uses to berate Komamura for how he looks. Whoa, what a fucking roller coaster of emotions.
Whew, yeah. These episodes were very bitty, but I feel
they jumped about a lot, didn't they?
They did. And I don't think we've really learned anything new. Well, other than Tosen's big reveal at the end, the fact that he's not only advised, but he's an Espada, a Bankai, like he went the other way.
Yeah. Plus everything about his friend and stuff too.
Well, no, because we learnt that back in episodes back in the rescue arc when Tosen and Komamura and Kenpachi were fighting and all of that kind of. We've all had those flashbacks before.
Yeah, but did we have it to this detail of where he didn't actually ever want to be a Shinigami? That was never his full intention, like he wanted to impose his justice on the world?
I think it might have been expanded on, but the main bulk of it were already covered.
Okay.
Because I don't think they reanimated it, they just kept the same animations from the last time we saw it.
Okay, fair. I just don't remember. That's expecting me to remember too long ago.
I mean, manga chapter-wise, it was chapters 148 and 176, and we're now in the 300s, so that was like 200 chapters ago.
Okay, so that's my excuse. Right, okay then, will we jump in with the manga and anime differences then? Use that as a segue?
Yeah, let's do that, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so starting off with episode 288, this episode takes 1 and 7/8 of a chapter. We've got
so specific.
It really is. It's 381, Words Don't Just Like You, and 382, The United Front 2 Disco Deck Mix, which is only 14.5 pages out of 20.
Okay, so I'm guessing then we've got a lot of fight filler, probably.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. The flashbacks, basically padding out the episode, were all filler. Fight padding with Yami and Kenny. Mayoi, the whole thing about Mayoi wanting to dissect the 11th was fight filler, was just talking filler as well. And then also Mayoi wanting to dissect Yami after Kenny cut off his legs was all fight filler. So really the only thing Mayoi had to say was the conversation that he had with Byakuya. Yep.
Fair. Did he still give Ichigo the advice about the Gargantua and Ichigo saying that he was similar to Unohana?
Oh yeah, Ichigo being a troll is definitely in both.
Canon.
Yep.
Love that, okay. Okay, fair enough. Right. I got one note here that stood out to me. I was like, Yami's got a tail? Like, he has a tail.
He does.
There's a tail there. It was like one of the things that I really noticed this episode. I was like, oh my god, he's got a tail. And then I've put, can we flip him? Like, heads or tails? Oh god.
But, I mean, he's meant to be like a millipede or a centipede or something.
Right.
Do they have tails?
They've got those weird antennae thing at the start of their bodies, but I don't know about the end.
I saw one earlier when I accidentally moved a plant pot and all the bugs that were hiding underneath it took refuge. And there was a centipede there. But I didn't see if it had a tail. I didn't look too much closely at it.
I'm just getting like the human centipede vibes now, and like, they're not. It's not okay. It's really not okay.
Yeah, the tail. I mean, what if
it's just weird?
What if it's not a tail?
Oh, Nomi! Nomi! Is that the kind of energy we're hitting today with? Really? I should have known based on your fucking episode summary. Jesus
I don't know
Christ.
what I was on this morning.
Oh, right, we're bypassing that discussion. By the way, did you think that Kenpachi looked like a little bit scrawny in his animation? Like, obviously,
he did a bit. I was like, yeah, he was like, he was very. He didn't look like you would imagine Kenpachi to look, and
no,
it makes you wonder just how heavy those captains Hayoi are, because they always seem so much bulkier when they're wearing all the layers, and then they take them off and they're like skinny thin and stick-like, and you're like, it's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, because it feels, but it's similar to Ichigo's dad, I feel like. Half the time he looks really bulky and thick, and then the other half of the time he looks scrawny as shit, and I think it's just the animation. I just think that they cannot consistently draw the characters, because they never get the heights right either. Like, I've really noticed that, like, there's threads and threads and threads of this on Tumblr and stuff, where it's like, characters being certain heights next to other characters and then them comparing those characters to another and then back again like a circle, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes us feel better because they can never get female proportions right, so you know, it's nice to see that they can't get male proportions right either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The whole scene with Unohana and Ichigo running through the Gargantua. The fact that Ichigo is just running with his sword Like, he's not sheathed it or anything, because he's technically he's still in Bankai. So he's not sheathed his sword, he's just running there. Can you imagine if he tripped? Unohana would have just got impaled by his Bankai.
No, Unohana's got too much grace for that. She wouldn't have gotten impaled by it. I feel like Ichigo might have impaled himself, though. It's kind of like that teaching kids not to run with scissors. Ichigo's absolutely that child that would run with scissors and get hurt.
Don't run with your Bankai, folks. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Right, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Captain Creepy, when he says that corpses over here are much more interesting, what do you think he was meaning by that?
Well, suppose because they've probably been modified with their exposure to the Hogyoku.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's probably finding all of this fascinating, and he's wanting to explore that, probably even try and make one himself. Can you imagine if we had another one?
Interesting. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about that one because I was like, there's still Spada and stuff on the other side too, so why specifically there? But I suppose he probably doesn't get the chance to go there that often.
Yeah, and he probably knows that he has a little bit of faith in his fellow captains that there might not be any bodies left. If he goes, like, why go to the world of the living where there might not be any test subjects left when he can stay here where there is test subjects? He might not want to take that risk.
Yeah, that's fair. Unohana made a comment that made it seem like she knew about the visors when she was running with Ichigo. I can't remember exactly what it was she said because I didn't write it down, but I think she said something like Urahara and his companions. She didn't call them visors necessarily, but I suppose that kind of makes sense because obviously Urahara went missing and so did all of the visors and everything, so she's probably put two and two together. But the reason why I wanted to call it out was just that, like, Unohana is really fucking intelligent, and the way that she's able to, like, connect dots and things is really, I just really like. I've started to really like. She's grown on me as a character.
Yes, yeah. And because I remember that line, because I remember laughing and going, somehow I don't think Shinji and the gang would be appreciative of being called Kisuke's gang or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. Companion. I think it was companions in the dub. I think so. I might be
in the manga, it's Kisuke Uehara's group. So yeah, the Kisuke Uehara's groupies apparently. Which again, they probably won't think too kindly of being called.
Oh, and actually, something that we discussed last episode, where, because you'd made the reference that it was Orihime that couldn't restore spiritual pressure, but we had the confirmation this episode that Orihime can, it was Asane that couldn't. It's not that she couldn't, it was that it would have taken longer.
Yes.
That's what Unohana explained, which was interesting. So Orihime can, like, not only fully recover somebody as well as their spiritual pressure, but, like, I suppose if she's rejecting everything that happened to that person, I guess that would really make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I liked that little bit of insight of how the healing process works.
Me too.
It was nice just to... I like those little bit of information and lore building just to kind of let us fanfiction writers actually be able to be accurate to the source material.
Yeah, agreed. Which, and it makes sense when you think about it, the physical body needs to be healed first before the spiritual pressure can be restored, or the reiatsu, however you look at it. That does make sense. It's like, if you're physically injured, you're not going to have energy to run around and do stuff. You know what I mean? If you're physically injured, you need that physical injury to recover first, and then the energy starts to return.
Exactly,
If you think about when you get the flu or a cold as well, like, you need to physically recover first before you can then get your energy back.
Yeah. And they probably have the time to do that, you know, heal up the body, send them back to their barracks, couple of days off work, and just to kind of recuperate their spiritual pressure, and then they're back at it.
Yeah.
Unless they're the 11th, in which they probably just get healed up and then just go straight back out to fighting again.
Unless they're Ichigo, in which case it's just child soldier, back out to battle, back out to battle, back out to battle, because nobody else can do this job except for you.
Yep.
Anyway. I have one. The only other thing I've got for this episode is a question, so we can save that for the end if you've got some.
I just have the smirk that Byakuya gave.
The smirk.
The smirk. I was like, where Byakuya smile? The smirk. I can't remember what it was about. I just have Byakuya smirk.
And is that in the manga as well?
No, if I'm looking at the right place.
I didn't think so. It did seem pretty out of character for him.
It just put here, it sounded to me like you believed Ichigo Kurosaki would be victorious, and then it's just got Mayuri's eye as if to say, no. But yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Yeah, I didn't think it would be. It did seem a little bit out of character for him, but I did really like it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very out of character. Right.
Go on then, what's your question?
Okay. Okay. Would you rather fight one 4-story tall building-sized Yami or 110 centimeter tall Kenpachi?
Okay, that's not that tall. And that would be just like, it'd just be, could he jump though? Like poking your eye out? I'd say the 110 centimeter tall Kenpachis.
Okay.
What about yourself?
I really wouldn't want to deal with Kenpachi. Like, I'd rather take on anybody but a Kenpachi. I don't care how small they are. I just know. Like, because then he could just end up in places. Like, no. I'd much rather fight the building guy that I can see and can run away from.
I mean, if it is the building guy, you could do a Byakuya, because, you know, he praises Byakuya in being so small because you can slip unseen. So you could definitely, like, slip between his legs and just slice and dice as you go, and then he'll be a worm.
Yeah, I'll go for the tail.
Go for the tail.
Oh, gosh.
The only last thing I've got is a quick note with regards to one of the manga chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So this manga chapter was called the United Front 2 Discorded Mix.
Okay.
But it only had the number in the volumes. In the Weekly Shonen Jump, it was just the United Front.
Oh, okay.
But the first United Front that we had was End of Hypnosis 6, United Front 1, which was the Renji and Ichigo versus Aizen. And then United Front 2, Red and White, was Renji and Ishida fight Zio. So it's these United Fronts, the only thing all these United Fronts have had in common is the fact they've all starred a member of the 6th Division. First Renji and now Byakuya.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I wonder why. United Front.
But yeah, that's all I've got for 288.
Cool, yeah, same. I've got just episode 289 then.
Cool.
Maybe.
So 289 manga chapters. We've got the remaining 5.5 pages of 382, the United Front 2. We've got 382, Too Early to Trust. Wait. 383, Too Early to Trust. And then 384, one of my favourite titles, Can't Fear Your Own Sword.
Ooh. Interesting, because we know that there's a light novel called Can't Fear Your Own World.
Yep. And
interesting.
The thing that both of these guys have in common is, of course, Hisagi.
Shuhei. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
Manga anime differences. We've got Mayuri's infatuation with dissecting Yami. Again, he doesn't want to do any autopsies or dissect Yami.
Okay.
And then fight padding at the beginning with Tosin, Komamo, and Hisagi, including all of their flashbacks that they had, was all filler.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, that demolishes one of my points that I had there, where I was like, is Captain Creepy's only personality trait about dissecting and getting test subjects? So that at least gets rid of that. That can go. I'm like, is that seriously all he's about? That's just like, anyway, it's fine. Poor writing, but I'm glad that it's not actually canon. Okay, but Byakuya versus Kenpachi, who would win?
Oh! No. I don't know, because if they made it fair and Byakuya wasn't allowed to use Shikai and he wasn't allowed to use kidou, then Kenpachi would probably win.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, as they are right now,
I think Byakuya, because he's a lot more well-rounded and he's got his fingers in many pies, as they say.
I agree with you. That was my reasoning as well. Is that, see if it's just because Byakuya is also a kidou master. You know what I mean? Like, he's got so much more going for him than Kenpachi is just pure brute strength. And I don't think that brute strength is enough to overcome all of the techniques and abilities that Byakuya has. I think if you took Byakuya's kidou abilities off of him and he only had the Shikai and Bankai, I still think then that would be a more even match. And Kenpachi might win that. But when you throw in the kidou, no, I feel like Byakuya would win. But I wonder, actually, I might attach a poll to this episode and we'll see what the listeners think. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, there should be a little poll attached to this episode. You can give us your thoughts.
There you go. Type it now. Because Dell's editing.
I think it's just I think it's just like like you can only click one or the other, but it would be just interesting to see if people would agree with us or not. But I'm going to say that I'm going to pose a question of the characters as they are. Byakuya with his Shikai, Bankai, and his ability to use kidou, and Kenpachi as he is right now. Yeah.
I must admit, though, there was a really cool shot of the three of them when Yami comes back after being punched, and Kenpachi and Byakuya are just staring at each other, and Byakuya's just got his Zenbonken Sakura just kind of all flowing around him. He's like sitting in a circle of cherry blossoms, and Yami's just there. I think that was pretty cool.
There was quite a lot of really nice animated shots in this. It was so interesting because I felt like the pendulum swung backwards and forwards so many times, where in one scene it would be really well animated and in the next you had scrawny Kenpachi. You know, it was like where they chose to put their animation budget.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this picture of Manga Kenny, he does look pretty scrawny as well, actually.
That's fair.
So, yeah. I'd say we blame Kubo, but as of the day we're recording this, it's actually his birthday, so we've got to be nice to him.
Oh, is it? Happy birthday, Kubo!
Happy birthday, Kubo!
Okay. How many references can Komamura make to Tozen's eyes?
Well, see, that's the thing. Because I mentioned this a couple of episodes back, but the anime have done this thing where they've always animated Tosen with his eyes closed behind his back glasses of his visor, whereas manga Tosen always has his eyes open.
Oh.
So, and we had this minor politically correctness change a couple of episodes ago, where Hisagi said to Tosen, "I'm going to help you come to your senses," whereas in the manga, it's "I'm going to help you open your eyes," which changes the impact of this future event, which is the fact that Tosen's like, I can see. So it's got that double connotation of him being open your eyes, being the symbolic sense, as opposed to a blatant disregard to the fact that he is blind.
Yeah, it's really interesting because in the dub it's definitely all about the eyes. It's opening your eyes and find a way to open the eyes and to make you open your eyes. It's all to do with the opening of the eyes. But yeah, he's animated with his eyes closed, so
yeah.
Maybe Tozen would be able to see if he just opened his eyes. I'm sorry. Oh,
low blow.
Oh gosh. Anyway.
But yeah, Tosin, I mean, then you really look at Tosin's holification and it's literally just, there's no eye holes in his mask, so, you know.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's kind of cool though. I will admit, there's something about that I really did quite like.
Mm-hmm.
I think the jarringness of it, especially when it gets like the mouth, was very hollow-esque.
Yes, because that mouth just kind of, the crack just appeared.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could see it throughout the course of the fight until it finally opened, and then you got his double mouth. You could see the mouth behind the mask. Yeah.
Did you pick up on this, right? Shuhei, at least in the dub, kept calling Tosin Captain Tosin, just like Momo did with Aizen.
Oh, I didn't.
And it's not really
well,
called
actually,
out.
he does it in the manga too, so yeah.
Yeah. But nobody calls, obviously the Rangiku isn't here to notify us about it, but yeah, obviously all of them have been so badly treated. I wonder if Izuru, actually, I can't remember much about this, but if Izuru ever refers to or sees Gin, if he refers to Gin as Captain Ichimaru. That'd be interesting, because it would then obviously link all three of these characters and how they're feeling about what they've gone through with their captain's betrayals.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one of those... not a knee-jerk reaction, but automatic pilot of just you're so used to one way that it's hard to go and call them something else.
Yeah, it was made a much bigger deal out of with the Momo aspect than it was here, so I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that it happens with Shuhei too.
Yeah.
I've just put in my notes. Reckon that Tozin's just pissed off at all these eye-opening references and wants them to stop. That's secretly why he's going Resurrection. He's like, right, I've had enough of your shite.
Yeah. I was too busy laughing at the fact that Anime Hisagi, his 69 on his cheek, takes up the whole of his cheek. It is so freaking huge, and I never noticed this before.
It kept changing. I noticed this per each panel that you see it, and 1 minute it's really thick and bold and takes up a huge part of his face, and then it gets like smaller and thinner. And another part, it's bizarre. It's that same thing that we spoke about with Kenpachi's scrawny figure. Like, it just doesn't seem to be consistent.
It's just... And majority of the time when it was noticeable, it's just takes up like the whole of his cheek. Whereas in the manga, it's quite small and it's just below his the tattoo tape. It's not tape; it's an actual tattoo. But the silver line on his face as well. It's actually quite small and sophisticated as much as a tattoo declaring your love for the sex position of 69 could be. But yeah,
It's brilliant. I will say only very bold characters can get a tattoo on their face and pull it off.
Yes, yeah. Renji's is pretty good though.
Yeah, Renji's is really cool.
Renji's pulls it off. Sagi needs to make better life choices.
Yeah, I feel like that one should have been somewhere else. He could have put it on the back of his hand like the Triforce or something. You know?
I mean, he probably got it when he was a kid. Like, as soon as Kensei saved him, he probably went and said, "This guy saved me at 169." And he had no idea what it meant. And the tattoo artist is just, like, chuckling to himself as he's doing it.
I like that. That's a great headcanon. That's brilliant. Oh, gosh, that's so good.
And now he just lives with the regret.
Or does he?
Or does he? Well, I mean, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get this changed." But then the defection happened and the war happened, and then Kensei came back, and now he can't bring himself to change it because his idol's actually seen it.
That's so funny. I wonder what Kensei must have thought when he saw that on his face.
Oh, I bet everybody else gives him like grief for it. Like Shinji and Love and Rose, they all make fun of him.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And Renji, once Renji finds out what it is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, that's all I have for 289.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah, episode 290 then?
290, okay. So we got manga chapter 385, Vice It, which is the name of the volume. And then 386, in the volumes, it's called Bells Are Blue. And in the Weekly Shonen Jump, it was called The Bestial. And it's just 7 pages of that one. So this is a very short... Manga-wise, it's only a chapter in 7 pages.
Okay. So that tells us that there's a lot of filler.
Yeah, flashbacks and fight padding. So, but this chapter was all flashbacks. So all the flashbacks and the fight padding were filler, because the flashbacks were covered back in chapter 176 for Tosin and Komamura's first meeting, and then the Tosin's friend flashback was chapter 148.
Okay.
So yeah.
And this is where we got the confirmation about what we were talking about a few episodes ago, where Aizen was a lieutenant at the point that Komamura joined.
Yes, yeah, we were because we were trying to figure that out. We
did. Took us a while. We got there.
Yeah, we got there. Yeah. I have one discussion point in big capital letters. Can you guess what it is? It's also got like 3 exclamation marks at the end of it.
Is it him calling Komamura ugly?
No.
Oh. No. What is it?
Sakanade!
Saka what now?
Sakanade. Shinji Shikai!
I know, I'm playing dumb. Oh my god.
You're so mean. We didn't get to see it, but he released his Shikai. Things are, shit's going down.
Yep, the Shikai that Aizen has never seen, and it's almost like that was like a spoiler for the fact that we're not going to get to see this episode either, you know?
I know, yeah.
Like, you don't know what it is, and guess what? Neither does the audience. Oh my gosh, yes. But yes, that's going to take us into the next episode, and hopefully we'll get to see a next episode. I'm assuming that because we're going to be doing, I think we do the next 2 or 3 episodes, we should get to it.
I have made sure we will get to it. There are 2 major events next episode that I need to be here for.
About. Yeah. I know what one of them is, and now I know the second one.
Yeah, because I know that somebody, not naming any names, you, will be mean, and I need to be there to protect them.
Me?
Yes.
No, never. I'd never do that. Speaking of mean, though, can we talk about the fact that when fucking Captain Dickwad Tosin got eyes, the first thing he did was call Komamura ugly?
Right?
Who does that?
I love your segue. Mad props on the segue there.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that.
Good.
Very proud.
But yeah, oh my gosh, you really are ugly. Like, what the heck, dude?
It was Komamura's face. Like, he's just like, he wasn't even upset or angry. It was like, he looked disappointed. He was like, I expected better of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine calling,
and
like,
so did I.
there were many other things that you could have pointed out. Like, oh my gosh, you're actually a wolf. You're an animal. Like, what is going... No, you're ugly.
The thing is that Komamura is the first person that he's seen. So how does he know that there aren't more people that look like him?
Right?
I get that he's probably like touched people's faces before, and he's probably touched. I was about to say he's probably touched himself before. You know what I mean, right? Like through touch alone, he probably knows what his face kind of feels or would look like if he could see. But like obviously the texture on Komamura would be totally different. But like I'm assuming that he's not gone round and touched everybody's faces. So how does he know Komamura is quote unquote ugly? It annoyed me.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Tosin.
Agreed. And I think Komamura looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. Aww.
I think he's awesome. He's grown on me a lot, actually, as a character. The first, like, couple of times I watched through Bleach, he was just there. You know, he was there. It was interesting, he was just there. But, like, actually thinking about it from the point of view of, like, if I went to, like, if I became a Shinigami and went through the academy and everything, and whose... like division I would want to work in, like I would be happy in Komamura's. Like he's such a really nice character.
He is. He seems like a really well respected captain.
100%. He's got my respect. Like he absolutely has. I would happily serve under Komamura.
Sorry.
Don't Nomi. Don't. We were doing so well.
I don't know where I am today.
We were doing so well until you just did that.
Anyway.
That's... Oh, I have a wee note here, though, that was like, you know how when in the flashbacks, and I know the flashbacks were discussed in the manga ages ago, but like, Tozen says that Komamura was really, really good at masking his presence and that he'd never been able to not sense somebody before. And I was like, couldn't Komamura just have done that and stuck up behind him and just stabbed him through the chest? But I get that, like, no, that was a long time ago. He's probably, like, been able to sense Komamura a lot more now. But I just was like, couldn't you have just done that, man?
Can you just done that? There was Tosen's, we touched a little bit about it the last episode. Not last episode, podcast episode, but last 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Tosen's holification.
Yes.
So the fact that he could resurrect, so he's a lot more Ivankar-like, and he is this massive fly, probably more cricket, because that's his Shikai and Bankai kind of aesthetic, is the cricket sounds. But yeah, it's just interesting the difference between how is Tosen's holification so different to the Vizards or Ichigo.
I wonder if maybe they would be able to get resurrections then, or if that's only a power bestowed upon them by the Hogyoku.
Yeah, I want, like, because Aizen was still kind of in the testing phases when he used the Vizards as his test subjects. So over years and using even more test subjects like the Irankars, he's now perfected it to the level of giving Tosen and finally actually breaking that barrier to make someone a more hollow than more Soul Reaper.
Yeah.
Because the Vizards are all still kind of more Soul Reaper than they are hollow, whereas Tosen's tipped it in favor of hollow rather than Soul Reaper, if that made sense.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And I found it interesting how much these guys all chat and gossip about things. Like, we had Rukia's learning about Ichigo's hollow mask through word of mouth last episode, and now this episode we've got Komamura knowing that Ichigo didn't self-impose the holification on himself, that it was Unohana that kind of did it to him. So, like, where he was like, oh, well, Ichigo's wasn't a choice, he didn't have the choice. You did, you chose to do this. And I'm like, are these bitches all just, is that what they do? They just sit down, have a cup of green tea and chat about Ichigo's holification?
Yeah. It's at the same time they all discuss the changes to his masks that are happening over the time.
Yeah.
They all just sit down and go, right, welcome to the Shinigamis against Ichigo meeting. How are we all doing today?
Oh god, that's funny. But I did think that Tozen had a really good point when he brought that up. He was like, what is the difference between me doing it and me getting these powers and Ichigo? And then Komamura was like, yeah, but Ichigo didn't choose to have his powers. And I'm like, how did you know that? Seriously, how did you? Anyway, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
These people know a lot about Ichigo that
yes.
Probably Ichigo doesn't even know about himself.
Yes.
Like, does he know that his mask has been changing? Does he know that he could have had a choice in all of this?
I could just imagine Ichigo putting his hollow mask on and checking himself in front of the mirror. You know, like those scenes of Spider-Man when he's got the mask on and he's like talking to himself in the mirror, like that. That's good. But yeah, that's pretty much all my notes. I don't really have anything major for this one, to be honest.
No, things are winding up now. Like, when you have a look at our lovely colourful spreadsheet, we've not got that long to go before we're in the next arc.
I know.
Things are... Although, I kind of feel bad for the one after, not next week, but the week after, when it's 4 episodes long and we're both away.
Yeah, we might need to push it, but we've got some that delving into the Bankai news that we had last episode though, right? So we're going to be able to find out probably about, what is it next weekend or something?
It's next weekend,
okay,
the expo
so
is.
By the time this episode drops, we might have news.
We may have news, guys.
Yeah. We'll definitely post about it on our Twitter and socials, I think.
Yeah.
At the very least. But yeah, it would be good to know if we have a confirmed date. That would be very helpful for us, because then it will decide if we can take a week off. Yes. We've got so much on to go. You're away for like a cruise. I have a wedding. Like, I'm not in the wedding. I'm a bridesmaid for the wedding, for anybody listening. We've just got a lot on, and we're like, we could all use with that week off. But you know, good to stick to the strict timeline that we've given ourselves. So.
Yeah, a date would be nice. Do you hear us, anime people?
Yes.
A date.
A date.
a date.
Give us a fucking date, you wee bampots.
And not just the dub date. We want the actual original sub date because knowing our luck, the dub will be an extra 6 months wait. So unless they simul dub it.
Even then, that's still usually a couple of days in between, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have nothing else.
Me neither. Oh. Right, well, that we've not got any additional news for delving into the Bankai, do we? Just that little thing about what's happening.
Just what's happening next weekend,
Yeah.
By this weekend,
by the time this comes out, yeah.
It's already happened, guys. It was yesterday.
Go check our socials for updates.
Yeah.
Cool, okay then. So that brings us into our Shinigami Cup Rockside edition. So who wrote it best this week then, Nomi?
Ichigo wearing his troll face when baiting Mayuri.
That was really good. Ichigo's smile when he jumps into the ground. He knew exactly what he was doing.
He knew. He knew.
He absolutely did. I've got Yami and his manicure from Kenpachi.
Aww.
Alright then, what about best ship?
I'm going for the obvious, because it has to be said.
Somebody's got to say
Kenpachi and Byakuya. Honestly, I am seeing these two guys in a new light.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yes.
My ship is Kurosuchi and Urahara's hat. Because it'd be so much like a would be as well wearing the fucking thing.
Nah, his head's too big, it wouldn't fit.
That's funny. Maybe if you took that pharaoh head thing off that he usually wears, if you took that off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe you could just get a little mini version made and sit it on the top of his snake thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, there was a bit in the anime where he didn't have his, they forgot to animate his Zanpakuto. So his belt was just kind of hanging low as if there was something weighing it down, but there was nothing actually weighing it down.
Sometimes the animation of the show is just questionable at best.
Yeah.
Alright then, what about fandom shout out then?
Okay, so my fandom shout out, none of these guys actually, well, one of them was in the episodes today.
Okay.
But it is this cute little piece of artwork by 1D1ELC8B58ZDWAO on Twitter.
What a name.
And it is a little mini Kuaku and a little mini Ukitake playing a cello and a violin with Unohana on the piano and Yamamoto just kind of looking over them. And it's just so wholesome and so cute. And I thought it's a nice little happiness and innocentness to kind of bring back the tone of the episode, because this episode kind of went downhill a bit at the start.
Oh my god, I love it. Ugh, I love, yeah, that's so fucking cute. That's so stinking cute. I love the colours that they've gone for as well, like the violin and the, is it like the bass viola or whatever it is that he's playing? Like
I thought it was a cello, but
maybe it is a cello.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is, but they're like red and the rest of it's like muted browns and stuff. It's really, really pretty. I really like the way they pop.
Yeah.
Mine's is, because it's just great, is a Ukitake and Toshiro piece, and it comes from Tomato Scribbles on Tumblr, and
That's
it is
what I think it is. Oh, okay.
basically Ukitake just he's got his arms on Toshiro, and and Toshiro just like so done with this shit, but they're so cute.
He's like, "Hi, my name's Shiro. This is my son, Shiro."
Yeah. That's honestly what it's like. And if you scroll down, you've got like
adorable.
more little sketches of them.
Oh, that's so cute.
Hi, this is my adopted son. Oh, adorable. Yeah, so definitely go and check them out. We will have them in our show notes. Click the links. Go give these people some love. Right. And have we got any more for any more?
I think that's it. Everything else I've got is for next podcast.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me just take a moment to delay whilst I get the episode numbers that I need for the outro, because...
Oh, I have them right here, because I've got the thing up, if you want them.
Do you? Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm just opening it myself as well. It's fine, because I usually just copy and paste them in. Oh, right. It is 291 onwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a twat I am. It's fine. Like, I was going to forget something at some point, right? I'm surprised that I even made it this far. Right, okay. Well then, you wonderful souls, that is the end of another episode. If you like what you heard and you want to get involved, you can find us by searching for The Seireitei on Instagram and Seireitei on Twitter. Now, Ichigo and Rukia might reap souls, but we are hoping to reap some 5-star reviews, and that is where you come in. Make like our favourite orange-haired protector and Ichigo to iTunes and Spotify to rate us, review us, and make us feel like number one. To those of you listening on YouTube, don't forget to be like Chad and give us that good thumbs up. We really appreciate it. On the next episode of the podcast, we'll be covering anime episodes 291, Desperate Struggle with Aizen, Hiraku Shikai, 292, All Out War Aizen vs Shinigami, and 293, Hitsugaya Enraged, Blade of Hatred. We'll see you souls then. Till next time, bye!
Bye! Spider, hang a sec. No, die.
You're not killing it, are you?
Yeah. I don't normally kill spiders, but this one, I couldn't, get rid of it, so I had to just squish it with my phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Normally I hide them in cups and leave them there.
Deal with them later, yeah. I've got a spider catchery thing that's got these bristles, so it's really good because you don't have to get too close to them.
I've seen, my parents have got one of those.
Yeah,
but this one was a really tiny one, and it was on my desk, and it was running towards me, and I was like,
threatened.
Okay.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, it was Yami, come to haunt me.